Extreme Rules is this Sunday, and there isn't any new matches. There's one new stipulation to a match, but the big talk is the draft tonight. And if you saw the draft, they have little. If you didn't see the draft, there's a little thing right here on the little site that shows who the draft picks were, and I'll just go for that very quickly. And I actually thought this was going to happen, and I knew it was going to happen, but John Cena gets drafted to SmackDown on the first pick. The second pick, Rey Mysterio gets drafted to Raw. Third pick, Randy Orton gets drafted to SmackDown, so that match changes. And so there's Rey's match, so there's Cena's match. Fourth pick, SmackDown gets Mark Henry, which doesn't do much, but it could give him a big push down the road. Fifth pick is Sin Cara, and he gets drafted to SmackDown after being on Raw for a few weeks, which isn't that bad of a deal, to be honest, because he was on both shows for a while and he was on Raw, so in a way, he was going to be on Raw roster anyway, so it didn't matter. The high-flying Sin Cara is now on Friday nights. Now, the next draft is one half of the Tag Team Champions, The Big Show, to Raw. And that means that The Big Show loses the title with Kane. He'll, because at least Big Show can go to both brands, so with that tag team title thing, it's kind of like a brand extension right there. And the next one was Alberto Del Rio to Raw, meaning if Del Rio were to win the world title match at Extreme Rules, the world title would go to Raw. And you would think if Cena was going to SmackDown, then Cena would win the title, or whoever would draft it, if it was Morrison or Miz would be drafted, they'd win the title or bring it to SmackDown. However, the final draft pick, and I think this is bullshit, John Cena gets redrafted back to Raw, and I've never seen that happen before. It proves that John Cena even no-sells the draft because he no-sold going to SmackDown, basically. It's a bullshit, in my opinion. It makes your draft less credible. At least you could have done something like, okay, you do a trade or something. But no, you draft him back. You waste a draft pick, Raw. You could have brought The Undertaker. You could have brought fucking Christian. You could have brought, and I know they don't have that many big-name stars. They could have at least brought Kane or somebody, that we're familiar with. It's really wasting a draft pick on Cena. I was happy that I didn't get to see Cena until Friday nights, and now I'm like, fuck. I knew it was probably going to happen, but of course. And Mark Henry should be fired, to be honest. Mark Henry fucked it up for everyone. We could have had a SmackDown pick. We could have, and if I knew that was going to happen, we could have had SmackDown win, and SmackDown could have got a draft pick, and could have got Miz or somebody, and Miz could have attacked fucking Cena or something, But really, Cena comes back to Raw. Fuck you, WWE. Just fuck you, man. Now, what does this mean for some of the matches? Like I said before, if Del Rio wins, the world title will go to Raw. It's really the battle of the brands for Extreme Rules now, because Rey Mysterio is on Raw, Cody Rhodes is on SmackDown, Randy Orton is on SmackDown, and CM Punk is on Raw. What else? Yeah, and like I already said before, Del Rio is on Raw and Christian on SmackDown, so the battle for the vacant world title will go there. The one big change, however, Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole and Jack Swagger is now a country whipping match. And basically, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a strap match, but you can use lever straps. You're not tied together. It's a different kind of strap match. For those keeping score at home, it's not the one where you are like a la Texas bull rope match where you're tied together. This is the one where you can use lever straps as a weapon. I think you can use them as a weapon. And JR's familiar with these matches. And by the way, with that disqualification, Michael Cole is technically 1-1, and JR is 4-0. And yes, I remember JR's matches, to be honest. JR hasn't had much, but he won a tag team match with Jerry Lawler over William Regal and Lance Storm, I believe. He then won against Coach in a country style whipping match. to get his spot back on the broadcast position a few years back when Raw was actually watchable. And the last match, he beat Triple H in a no disqualification match. So if you can beat the game, you can pretty much beat Michael Cole and Jack Swagger, in my opinion. But a country style weapon match, we have not seen this match in years. In fact, like I said before, the last time we saw it was against the Coach. If you remember Jonathan Coachman, yeah, you'll see why that match was pretty much scrapped. But it's brought back for one night only, and that changes it. Advantage definitely goes to Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. Especially since Michael Cole now has a broken lip, or a bruised lip. He can't talk as well, which I love. Yay, that fixed now. It's not on Twitter jail. That's good. Whatever. But yeah, the draft was kind of bullshit at the end, but don't forget, the supplemental draft is tomorrow at noon, meaning Extreme Rules could change even more. You don't believe me? We'll see what happens tomorrow. All I know is Extreme Rules is this Sunday.